Let's just get right to it, man. People love to throw around the word evolution. They look at the landscape of modern combat sports, the high-level athletes in the UFC, the slick BJJ competitors, and they say, look how far we've come. But I'm here to tell you something that might be hard to hear. Modern martial arts are not evolving. They're dying, they're being dissected, they're being commodified, they're being sold off for parts, and we're all just watching it happen, cheering it on like it's progress. If you're enjoying this, hit the like button to support the channel. The very soul of what it means to be a martial artist is being hollowed out from the inside, replaced by a shiny, marketable product that looks good on Instagram but might get you killed in a real-world situation. What we're witnessing is a great betrayal of the core principles that these arts were built on for centuries. It's a slow death, a death by 1,000 cuts. It's not a dramatic, sudden collapse. It's a gradual erosion of substance. You can't talk about the state of modern martial arts without talking about the 8-sided cage. The UFC, man, I love it. I've been a part of it for decades, and it's done something incredible. It pressure tested everything. When the UFC first started, it was this wild experiment. Karate guys, boxers, sumo wrestlers, jiu-jitsu practitioners, and for a while it was a unifying force. It forced everyone to confront the weaknesses in their own style. It proved that if you didn't know how to grapple, you were screwed. It showed that if you couldn't defend a takedown, your fancy kicks were useless. It was the ultimate truth serum for combat. But then something shifted. MMA blew up and became a global phenomenon. It stopped being a test of styles and became a style unto itself. The goal changed. Not which art is superior, but who can be the best at MMA. Fighters specialized. They trained for the unified rules, techniques optimized for 3 or 5 round fights inside a cage, with a referee ready to step in. The focus moved from raw unpredictability to a strategic athletic contest. This has had a massive ripple effect. Young athletes stop going to dojos, they go to MMA gyms. Let's be real, money changes everything. In the world of martial arts, money has become a corrosive force. Once these arts became viable businesses, the entire dynamic shifted from a master-student relationship to a customer-provider one. The goal for many school owners is no longer just to pass on a sacred tradition or to forge strong individuals. The primary goal is to pay the rent, make a profit, and keep the customers, students, happy. This economic pressure has led to one of the most disgusting trends in martial arts history, the rise of the McDojo. These are the belt factories. They promise a black belt in 2 years if you just keep paying your monthly fees. These McDojos are a cancer. They water down techniques to make them easy for anyone to learn, regardless of age or physical ability. They create a system of endless belt promotions to give students a constant sense of achievement, keeping them hooked and their wallets open. The curriculum is designed for retention, not for effectiveness. You end up with people who have a black belt strapped around their waist, but couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag. It's a complete fraud. They are selling a false sense of security and a piece of colored cloth that is utterly meaningless. It's a business model built on lies. It devalues the hard work and dedication of everyone who has ever earned a legitimate black belt. Social media has poured gasoline on this fire. It's created a whole new battlefield where the currency isn't skill or effectiveness, but likes, shares, and views. We're now in the era of the martial arts influencer. These are people who may or may not have any real depth of knowledge, but they are masters of creating slick 30-second videos, flashy kicks, impossible-looking submissions, deadly self-defense moves that look great on a phone screen. They build massive followings by selling an image of expertise, often without having the substance to back it up. They're performers, not martial artists, and they're muddying the waters for everyone. A beginner scrolling through Instagram or TikTok is bombarded with this highlight reel version of combat. They see a guy doing a 720-degree spinning hook kick and think, that's what I need to learn. They don't see the thousands of hours of mind-numbing basics, the boring footwork drills, the endless repetition of a simple jab, the grueling conditioning that form the actual foundation of fighting ability. They are being sold a fantasy, a shortcut to looking cool without putting in the real work. Then you have the explosion of online courses. They promise to teach you secret techniques that the mainstream masters don't want you to know. It's absolute nonsense, man. You cannot learn a physical art like jujitsu or boxing from a video. You need a partner. You need a coach who can physically correct your posture, your timing, your pressure. You need to feel what it's like to have someone resist you. Learning from a video is like trying to learn how to swim by reading a book. It's a dangerous illusion that gives people a completely unearned sense of confidence. At the heart of this conflict is a clash of philosophies for the very soul of martial arts. On one side, traditionalists see it as a path to self-improvement. The goal isn't to beat another person, but to conquer your own fear and ego. On the other, the modern competitive mindset is simple. Winning is everything. Effectiveness is the only metric that matters. A young fighter sees traditional forms as a waste of time. The traditional master sees a skilled athlete, but not a martial artist. Someone who has mastered the science of fighting, but missed the art. This tension forces a choice. Are you training for a trophy or walking a path? Building a weapon or building yourself? The division between training for sport and for self-defense is vast. A sport is a controlled duel. Rules, a referee, a single unarmed opponent. The goal is to score points. Real-world self-defense is the polar opposite. Unpredictable chaos. There are no rules. Your attacker might have a weapon or friends. The goal is simply to survive. The problem is that sport training creates dangerous blind spots. A BJJ guard is a death sentence on asphalt. An MMA takedown is a fatal error against a hidden knife. This has split the community into two camps, each viewing the other as naive or paranoid. The gap between sport and survival widens every year. There's a massive generational shift. Today's world is about speed and immediate results. Raised on video games, the new generation wants to level up fast. This is why sport-focused MMA is so appealing. The feedback is immediate, with clear, tangible goals. Traditional martial arts can't compete. Progress is internal, subtle, and doesn't come with a trophy. To an outsider, it looks like stagnation. The art of slow mastery is dying because no one has the patience to practice it anymore. So everyone is mixing everything together now. We see it in MMA, where fighters blend Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, and BJJ. We see it in so-called hybrid systems. They claim to take the best techniques from many arts and combine them into one ultimate style. On the surface, this sounds like the true evolution of martial arts. Bruce Lee talked about it 50 years ago. Absorb what is useful, discard what is useless. It's a powerful idea, but I have to ask, is this really evolution? Or are we just creating a chaotic mess? True evolution requires deep understanding of principles behind techniques. It's not just about grabbing a kick from Taekwondo, a punch from boxing, a submission from Jiu-Jitsu, and throwing them together like a salad. To truly integrate, you must grasp the underlying physics, the philosophy of range, the timing, and the strategic purpose. Without deep knowledge, you're not evolving. You're creating a Frankenstein's monster of disjointed moves. Techniques are taken without context. A Wing Chun trap without centerline theory. A judo throw without kuzushi. This has left the martial arts world fractured. Sport athletes, traditional purists, and social media performers all in their own bubbles, with the title martial artist losing its meaning. The path to reconciliation starts with humility. Stop seeing other arts as rivals. See them as chapters in the same book. We need to build bridges and cross-train to learn philosophies, not just moves. This preserves the true journey, becoming a stronger, more disciplined human being. That truth connects all martial arts. It's on all of us to ensure the soul of martial arts thrives. To support us, please like, share, and subscribe.